take no L's. That's why I think that's why people hate me, because I'm so arrogant and but it's just me being like, yo, this is the truth. This is the facts. People hate the facts.
Why are you causing all these problems for yourself, sir?
I don't cause no problem, man. You know what I'm saying? I address them.
On August 17th, everything in New York flipped upside down when 6ix9ine's girlfriend Ariela was found gone after a targeted street hit. And right when people were still trying to process what happened, brand new footage of 6ix9ine locked up hit the internet. And the timing got folks saying this whole thing might actually be connected. Did 6ix9ine set up his own girlfriend? The clues are starting to look wild. The so-called Queen of New York got taken out in a way nobody saw coming. And just when the city was buzzing, the story snapped into a whole new twist. 6 days after Ariela was found in her car with multiple wounds, 6ix9ine himself got scooped up on August 23, 2025 for violating his supervised release. That timing got everybody side-eyeing the situation like, what's really going on here? And to make it even more chaotic, new footage of him behind bars popped up at the same exact time. But before we break down that messy clip, let's rewind this whole thing. On August 17, 2025, the streets lost someone loved by many. Ariela Langosta, known online as Ariela Polanco, was discovered in her black G-Wagon on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York. She was just 33, a Dominican star with a huge presence both online.
Let me ask them, what's the definition of a snitch? What's loyalty to you, Charles? If another TMZ staff member kidnapped you, is that loyal to you? You're working right now. If Harvey's stealing all of the money that you're making right now and gives you crumbs of it, but is taking majority of the money, is that loyal to you? These are my people. Like, how many people I beefed with in 2018? I beefed with the whole West Coast. I beefed with the Houston. I beefed with Chicago.
And in real life, investigators said this wasn't random at all. It looked fully planned. Ariela had just left her shift at Ekin New York Lounge, where she worked as a bartender, holding down her grind and caring for her 2 daughters. With more than 560,000 followers online, people said she had a gift. She could walk into any room and make it feel alive. But here's where the whole situation turns explosive. Ariela wasn't just another online personality. She was moving close inside 6ix9ine's circle. She popped up in his 2023 WAPA video and even hit the stage with him at spots like the BOA Room in New York. No wonder the internet started wilding out. Some folks calling her his girlfriend, others saying she was just tight with him. But either way, when someone that close gets taken out like that, the streets start whispering loud. And once the rumors started flying, they didn't slow down for a second. People kept bringing up 6ix9ine's history, how he testified in a major case years back, and saying anybody around him becomes an easy target. He even once admitted he knew a lot of people didn't like him, which only added more heat to the conversation. After the recent events, social media went into full detective mode. One user said,
That's how they gonna treat you. Oh, Mickey Mouse clown.
Go ahead.
Take a picture.
Go ahead.
Take a picture. I want to be famous now. I want to be famous. Fuck.
Yo, this is Jump 6ix9ine, bro. Yo, homie, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a fan, bro. No, I'm a fan. I'm just saying, bro. I'm a fan, bro. I know, I ain't jumping, bro. I'm just saying.
that's why you don't date walking targets. And another posted, to be in close proximity to him is crazy. The internet wasn't holding back at all. Then things got even deeper. Word spread that Ariela was also connected to a man named Neda Cartier, described as someone investigators wanted to question after her passing. Suddenly, people started pushing 2 different theories. Was she caught up because of 6ix9ine's old drama, or did her own circle have street issues that put her in danger? Either way, this was a tragic situation tied to heavy street politics. When investigators pulled up, they found her ride with shattered windows and multiple impact marks. Whoever did this clearly wanted to send a message loud and clear. The Westchester County Police brought in local, state, and federal teams to dig into the case, showing they were treating this situation as major business. But with no suspects named and no arrests on deck, the streets started cooking up their own theories about who wanted the so-called Queen of New York gone. What made everything even more heartbreaking was Ariela's last Instagram post from June 7th.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, his last day on the stand was last week, Friday. And he, of course, as you guys know, is testifying about the accused 9 Trey Gangsta Blood members, Anthony Harv Ellison and Aljamiah Nuke Mack. Now, he's talking about a lot of different things. And one thing that was part of his testimony was recordings of phone calls and conversations. One call was between Tekashi's former co-defendant, Jamel Mel Murder Jones, and Jim.
2025. She wrote, "Happy and blessed," rocking a cowboy hat during a fun night out. Just 2 months later, she lost her life on a highway in a shocking attack, and the contrast hit everyone deep. People kept asking what kind of person would take out such a lively young mother in such a cold way. When the news broke, 6ix9ine jumped onto his Instagram stories with emotional posts that had the entire internet staring. He shared videos and pictures of them together, calling her a tremendous woman and the Queen of New York, letting the world see how real their bond was. But the line that shook everyone came when he wrote, "You supported me in everything, my sister, and my world won't ever be the same. I loved you." He even dropped a message in Spanish, "Yo ame en menino." Showing this connection went way past industry vibes and straight into real family energy. The tributes kept coming, all set to Romeo Santos's Obsession, which he said was their favorite track. Seeing someone known for trolling suddenly showing raw hurt had people looking at him in a whole new light. He even said, "There was no heart more beautiful," and you could tell this loss hit him heavy. The hip-hop world and Ariela's work family came through with major love too. Cardi B posted "Riff Dominican Pretty" on her stories. Short, simple, and full of respect for another Dominican queen. And the clubs where Ariela worked honored her with emotional messages, including one from Icon New York that said, "Today we lost our shining star, Dari." Her loved ones were shattered, writing emotional messages saying her joy, humility, and the way she cared for everybody always made her shine. They even wrote, "We still can't believe it. You were our smile, our happiness. We love you and will miss you forever." Opus Lounge poured their hearts out too, saying it brought them great sadness to say goodbye to someone who had been part of their best moments for years. Starlets of New York showed.
Now, you did an interview with the Daily Beast, and you talked about that throughout your relationship, there was a lot of domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Like, at what point in the relationship did the abuse first start?
It happened very early on in our relationship, like maybe a month after I moved in with him. That was the first time he put his hands on me. And I didn't know how to take that. Like, I've never had a guy put their hands on me. This is my first boyfriend. You know, I didn't know how to handle that situation.
Big love as well, calling her a one-of-a-kind soul, a loyal friend, and a loving mother and daughter whose smile lit up every room she walked into. But while the tributes were flooding in, the streets kept buzzing about why Ariela was targeted. And the loudest theory was that the attack was connected to 6ix9ine's old cooperation with federal agents. When somebody publicly cooperates in a major case like he once did, it doesn't just put them at risk, it puts everyone close to them in danger too. That's tough street knowledge people learn way too late, and the conversations online weren't slowing down for nobody. Back to Ariela. While some pointed fingers at the rapper, most fans were showing love in her comment section. Hearts, prayers, and respect. But they were also asking heavy questions. People posted things like, "Rest in peace, beautiful soul," mixed with comments like, "He's locked up now. Wonder if it's connected." Folks weren't just mourning, they were connecting dots out loud. And then the memorial in Washington Heights outside Opus Lounge proved how much love she had in her community. Flowers, candles, crowds, the whole block felt her absence. Cecilia Rodriguez pulled up with flowers saying, "I'm very heartbroken," knowing she had her 2 daughters, very sad. Another supporter, Ellie Hernandez, spoke from the heart, saying it hurt to see a Dominican sister with so much beauty and spirit gone too soon. People were saying the whole situation was very, very sad. But what really shook everyone was how this tragedy fit into a bigger pattern of chaos that always seems to surround 6ix9ine. From that 2023 gym attack in LA, where the dudes were yelling, "Go ahead, take a picture, I'm gonna be famous now," to the non-stop threats he's gotten over the years. It's like trouble trails this man wherever he goes. And now, with Ariela being taken out in such a violent way, the street started saying this looked bigger than just another random incident. Then things went completely left when 6ix9ine got taken into custody just days later. One moment he was posting emotional tributes about his sister, and the next, he was sitting back in federal hands at the same facility where they're keeping high-profile names like Diddy.
One incident was me and him was arguing. We was walking towards Marcy and by the factories. He wanted me to take pictures of him. Yeah, he punched me in my eye. Like, he punched me in my face. And it was like, I think I was trying to scuffle with him, but he punched me repeatedly, and I had like 2 black eyes, and he left as soon as he did it. So I half fell asleep, and when he came back home, I guess I was sleeping, he saw my face and saw that I had like 2 black eyes. And I guess he woke me up and was like, I'm sorry, you know. He started crying.
And Sam Bankman-Fried. That move had everybody talking. Agents scooped him up at the Thurgood Marshall U.S. Courthouse in Manhattan, and they weren't playing even a little bit. Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer, the same judge who handled his case back in 2019, issued the warrant, and now 6ix9ine is stuck until his hearing on November 12, 2025. This alone had social media spinning with theories. But here's the part that really got people connecting dots. The reason he even got locked up again was because he kept violating his supervised release like it was nothing. The government listed 3 violations, and his probation officer was completely fed up. Fans were saying the timing felt way too close to Ariela's situation, and that's why everyone started whispering that this might not be a coincidence. First off, this dude flew to Las Vegas and hit the stage at T-Mobile Arena without even getting permission from his supervising officer. Then when they pressed him about it, he tried to deny the whole thing, like they didn't have receipts. That was violation number 1, and lying to federal agents has never been a smart move. Next violation, he kept failing drug tests back to back. They said he had methamphetamine in his system twice, but he tried blaming it on his prescription Adderall like that was gonna slide. The officials weren't buying that story for a second. And then came the 3rd strike. He straight up skipped a mandatory drug test altogether. Everybody knows once you hit 3 violations in federal court, they treat that like a final warning siren going off. They do not play about supervised release. But here's where things get even deeper. Back in March 2025, federal agents searched his Miami mansion and reported finding controlled substances in his room. Then in July, he pled guilty to 2 possession charges, while other items found on the property were dropped because DNA didn't link them to him. The whole situation had already put him under heavy watch. So when he showed up to court on August 23rd, he tried to explain everything, but the excuses were not landing. About being late, he said, "I flew up from Florida and woke up late." And for the Vegas trip, he claimed, "I went to perform to make a living and thought I had permission." And for the test results, he kept repeating that the readings happened because he was on Adderall. But the moment that hit the courtroom the hardest was when he said, "I'm human, bro. I've been jumped for cooperating with the federal government." That one line showed exactly how much the past has been following him around since 2019. And with the timing of this arrest landing right after Ariela's passing, people online started spinning theories faster than ever. Social media went into full frenzy mode, with folks posting non-stop about Ariela's passing and how it might tie back to 6ix9ine's situation. Some people were even saying the officials locked him up partly for his own safety, while others claimed they were checking if his recent violations connected to the shooting in any way. And the fact that he's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, alongside high-profile inmates like Sean Diddy Combs and Sam Bankman-Fried, shows they're treating his—
Actually didn't leave.
Yeah.
But why is that?
I don't know. In a way, I felt stuck. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt numb to the situation because he was already doing it. And the extent of how he beat me in front of my daughter, it would have been
protection like serious business. Now let's rewind this whole saga, because everything people are talking about today traces back to the moment 6ix9ine decided to cooperate in that major case years ago. That decision changed his life forever, and some online believe it might even explain why Ariela ended up in danger. Back in November 2018, federal agents picked up Daniel Hernandez as part of a joint operation targeting a group tied to the United Blood Nation, a crew accused of causing heavy chaos across Manhattan and Brooklyn. The indictment was stacked with serious charges: racketeering conspiracy, firearms offenses, plots involving violent acts, and more. These weren't small accusations. He was facing a minimum of over 30 years and potentially life behind bars if convicted. Instead of going to trial, 6ix9ine chose to work with prosecutors, which shocked the entire hip-hop scene. When the U.S. attorney announced the indictments, he said the group, which included a platinum-selling artist, had been involved in bold, dangerous activity across New York City. The list of allegations tied to 6ix9ine sounded like something out of a street action movie. Authorities accused him of paying someone to target Chief Keef, taking part in armed robberies in Times Square, and plotting against rivals. Then on January 23, 2019, he entered a guilty plea to all 9 counts and agreed to testify in court. That moment right there is what the streets still talk about. The moment everything around him changed forever. He admitted, "I joined 9 Trey in 2017 and confessed to paying $20,000 for someone to fire at Chief Keef outside the W Hotel in Manhattan, supposedly just to scare him." But the real storm hit in September 2019 when 6ix9ine took the stand for 3 straight days, giving testimony against members Anthony Harv Ellison and Jeremiah Nuke Mac. He didn't hold anything back. He broke down the crew's structure, explained who held power, and described specific acts. He even called Jamel Mel Murda Jones the Godfather, and Kefano Shotty Jordan a top-ranking member. Prosecutors said his cooperation was extraordinary and game-changing, which in street talk means he shared everything he knew and more. His testimony helped secure convictions, and both Ellison and Mack ended up facing life sentences. Judge Paul Engelmeyer told him his help was impressive, complete, and brave, but also reminded him he had been a major part of a dangerous crew before flipping. The judge handed him a 2-year sentence with over a year credited, and he got released early in April 2020 due to COVID concerns. But that cooperation came with a price, a heavy one. And the street's been saying he's been carrying that weight every day since. And now, people fear Ariela may have paid the ultimate price just for being close to him. Before he even got arrested in 2018, federal wiretaps recorded members of the crew talking about super violating him after he cut ties and spoke out publicly. The threat was so real that agents stepped in and arrested him early, not only to build their case, but to keep him alive. Prosecutors warned back then, "There is no question the defendant's life will never be the same." And that statement turned out to be chillingly true. Because he cooperated in that old case, officials warned he and his family would always need extra protection. And they weren't lying. Over the years, he's been jumped, threatened, and now people close to him have been caught up in dangerous situations. What really made folks online raise their eyebrows was how 6ix9ine started moving right after Ariela's passing. The man who normally posts non-stop suddenly went silent for days after dropping those emotional tributes. Then out of nowhere, boom, he gets arrested. People started saying officials had been watching him tight since the shooting, waiting for the smallest slip so they could pull him in for questions. Others believe they used the violations as a way to get him off the streets before something happened to him too. And the streets have been connecting these dots since day one. When someone with his kind of history has people around them getting harmed, folks don't believe in coincidences. That August 23rd arrest, just 6 days after Ariela's situation, had people asking if officials knew something the public didn't. Some think he got locked up partly for his own safety, while others think investigators are trying to see if any of his violations overlap with what happened to Ariela. All those comments calling him a walking target suddenly hit way different now. But what's even more troubling is the long pattern of chaos that follows this man everywhere he goes. From messy relationships to heated scandals involving women, his past has been filled with drama that never seems to end. And before this story closes, we gotta talk about his track record with women, because this pattern goes way deeper than most people realize. While everyone stays focused on his old cooperation case and street ties, a lot of people forget that this man has a long history of messy and harmful behavior toward women. And that history paints a whole different picture of who we're dealing with. Let's start with Sarah Molina, the mother of his daughter, who says she dealt with mistreatment from him for years. In a 2019 interview with the Daily Beast, Sarah spoke on incidents that would break anyone down, describing a pattern of intimidation and physical harm that she says lasted from 2011 all the way to 2018. She claimed that during a trip to Dubai in October 2018, he put her through a terrifying situation that left her bruised and scared, and she said he wouldn't let her leave while she was crying. Sarah also described another moment in a Daily Motion interview where she said he suddenly seemed stronger and more aggressive, even trying to stop her from calling out for help by covering her face with a pillow. These stories shook the whole internet when they first came out, and this isn't just accusations floating around. Officials confirmed that in his federal cooperation paperwork, 6ix9ine admitted to committing domestic violence between 2011 and November 2018. Judge Engelmeyer even repeated it in court, making it part of the official record. As for the Dubai incident, Sarah explained that it started after he accused her of being involved with his manager, Kafano Shadi Jordan. She said he snapped and kept hitting her during a long, rage-filled moment, leaving her terrified and unable to defend herself. Hearing her describe those moments had fans shocked because it showed a whole different side of him, one that can't be blamed on gang politics or internet beefs. She said he had a wild look in his eyes, and she was terrified. She claimed he grabbed her by the neck and told her, "I just have to make an example. I can't have you out there making me look foolish." She says he then forced intimacy on her while she cried, a moment she described as pure torment, far beyond just a heated argument. And even after all this, she didn't walk away. And she said she had her reasons. But the story doesn't stop there. In interviews from 2020, 6ix9ine himself admitted he was living reckless and being unfaithful, saying he had been with dozens of other women during his time with Sarah, which led to multiple situations and health scares. Hearing that had people shocked because it showed she wasn't just dealing with physical danger. She was dealing with emotional and medical stress too. Imagine feeling stuck with someone who's hurting you, betraying you, and bringing chaos straight into your home. Sarah said she stayed quiet for years to protect her image. But when she finally spoke up, the details left the internet stunned. Then there's Rachel Jade Watley, who began dating him in 2018, right before he got locked up in that big racketeering case. Their relationship was shaky from day one, with Jade even getting tattoos of 6ix9ine on her chest and knee to show loyalty. But by August 2022, everything flipped. Jade got arrested for battery after hitting him and grabbing his chain at Kiki on the River nightclub in Miami. Surveillance footage caught the whole thing, and she was ordered to stay 500 feet away from him. But here's the part that had everybody confused. 6ix9ine told TMZ, "My relationship with Jade is fine," and didn't press charges. He even let Jade and her kids stay in his Florida place while he stayed at a hotel. That alone showed just how unstable these relationships were from the start. The fact that things got so heated that a woman publicly put hands on him says everything about how toxic and messy these dynamics became over time. The most recent and messiest situation came from his relationship with Dominican rapper Yelin Lamas, who dated 6ix9ine from 2022 to 2024, and their relationship was pure chaos from start to finish. Both of them ended up facing legal trouble at different points. In December 2023, Yelin got arrested after a heated moment at his home, with video showing her swinging on him. But TMZ reported a whole different angle, saying she only snapped after 6ix9ine basically trapped her in the house by refusing to give her passport and money back. Suddenly, the drama wasn't just local, it went international. This situation showed how far his relationship troubles had spread worldwide. Then in January 2024, things got even wilder when he was arrested in Santo Domingo after Yelin's mother went on the radio claiming he had assaulted both her and her daughter. She said she tried to step in when an argument got out of hand. But when court day came, Yelin switched up and testified he never touched her, which had people saying these relationships were so toxic they had folks protecting the person hurting them. But the truth started coming out heavy in September 2024 when Yelin filed a federal lawsuit accusing him of physical, emotional, and financial abuse throughout their entire relationship. According to the documents, she said he tried to control her life, isolate her, and take hundreds of thousands of dollars from her. The wording in that lawsuit read like a dark movie script. She claimed he hit her during her own daughter's baptism ceremony, a moment that left people speechless because it was supposed to be a peaceful family event. She also said he threatened to push her from a balcony and blamed her for his outbursts. Classic manipulation tactics used to keep someone scared and confused. Yellen further accused him of drugging her, forcing her into cosmetic procedures she didn't want, and uploading inappropriate content of her after their August 2024 breakup. These claims painted a picture of a relationship built on control, fear, and total disrespect, and they made the whole world look at him in a different light. She's seeking $1 million in damages, and 6ix9ine tried to clap back by saying, "All that jewelry is mine. That car she's riding in, I bought. The penthouse in the Dominican Republic, I bought. I took care of her family and daughter." But using money to justify harmful behavior is one of the oldest tricks in the abuser handbook, and people caught on quick. His response basically proved Yellen's point, showing how he used financial power to keep control over her. The claims about revenge content were especially disturbing because they show he was willing to use private material as a weapon whenever someone upset him. Posting intimate images without consent is illegal in most states, and it shows a level of spite that goes way beyond regular relationship drama. What had the internet truly shocked was how his alleged treatment of women mirrors the same pattern folks accuse him of in the streets: betrayal. Whether it's the crew that once embraced him or the women who let him into their hearts, he's been accused over and over of turning against the very people closest to him. And the wildest part? He already admitted in federal court that he committed domestic violence from 2011 to 2018. Yet the allegations didn't stop there. That alone made people say he clearly didn't learn anything from the consequences he faced. When you look at this whole pattern, 7 years of harming Sarah Molina, followed by multiple messy and dangerous relationships, it paints a picture that's hard to ignore. When you look at the volatile relationships with Jade and Yellen, plus the fact that he openly admitted to domestic violence in federal court, it paints a picture of someone who struggles with control and has serious anger issues that spill into every connection he makes. And when a person with that kind of track record gets close to women, trouble always seems to follow. Now, there's no direct evidence linking him to what happened to Ariela, but his long history of creating dangerous environments for the women around him has people asking real questions. Was it his past street ties that put her in danger, or something personal? Either way, being connected to him has been risky for women for more than a decade. People in the streets been trying to warn everyone about his character for years, but most folks stayed focused on the music, the antics, and the memes. Now, with Ariela gone, 6ix9ine locked up again, and a long line of women saying they were mistreated, people are finally starting to pay attention to what his actions been screaming all along. This story ain't just about old cases or cooperation. It's about someone whose presence seems to leave destruction in every direction. And the women closest to him often pay the highest price. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment. And I'll see you in the next one.